cookies.
Oh no! I'm having a Rampage dream again. I'm stuck on the title screen. Well, there's only one cure for it. Time to play Rampage! Yeah, boy!
Time to play Rampage!
Did you just say it was time to play Rampage?
You bet your sweet ass I said that!
Oh, cool. I haven't played that game in forever. I used to play it all the time as a kid on the arcade. The Atari version kind of sucked. The Nintendo version was okay. But back in those days, you couldn't get any better than the arcades.
Time to set it up with George, Lizzie, and Ralph as we destroy some cities!
Okay, let's get this bad boy started up. Rampage was an arcade game that came out in 1986, released by Midway Valley Games. You can play as one of three characters: George, which is a giant gorilla, Lizzie, which is a giant lizard, or Ralph, which is a giant wolf. All these characters once used to be people, but they were mutated into the giant monsters they are now. Your job is to go around to different cities and destroy all the buildings that you see and eat all the people and all the food that you can while trying to avoid getting hurt by the military forces. Of the versions of this game that I am aware of, this is my favorite one that I used to play as a kid regularly. I used to go up to this place I used to go to for my birthday called Major Magics, and I would play this every birthday, and I love this one.
Okay, of the three characters, which one's your favorite?
My favorite character, of course, is Lizzie, because, well, one of my favorite sci-fi monsters is Godzilla. So, of course, I imagined that I was Godzilla in this game, going around and causing mayhem and havoc. Well, I, of course, was only about 4 years old when this game was released. So, yeah, it's quite common for little kids at that age, I think, to go around pretending that they're monsters, causing havoc, right? There is, of course, a more recent incarnation of the Rampage name in a movie starring a certain guy who's named after something that you usually find in a river or on the ground, The Rock. And in this movie, they don't quite get it right. They do have the same corporation who's apparently behind the mutations, but it's actually animals that get mutated into the monsters and not people that get mutated into the monsters. So just an interesting bit of trivia there. Something I recently researched was that the director for the movie Rampage, Brad Peyton, actually rejected the idea of going along with the arcade game's original story of how the monsters came to be. He said that he, quote, wouldn't go with Rockzilla, and he wanted a more grounded story. In my opinion, I think you should have stuck with the game script, dude.
You should have stuck with the game script, dude. Somebody's opinionated. Still, the movie did pretty good overall, didn't it?
Well, if you want to go there, they did have a gross of $428 million with only a budget of $260 million total. So they did make their money.
Well, then what do you make on your videos then, you cheap ass?
I'd rather not talk about that.
Oops.
And on to the Sega Master System version. Title screen looks great. Holding up some babe in a tank top. And all these guys look like they're constipated. Let's play as Ralph. Starting in San Francisco. And he looks like he's drunk or he's trying to be a pirate. You always got these people that when you punch them out of the buildings, there's a guy in his underwear, there's some girl wearing a red dress, and of course there's the army guys always shooting at you and throwing stuff at you. Looks like sticks of dynamite. Ooh, don't punch the sign when it's on. It's a bad idea. And somebody's in a bathtub. They sprayed me. Just like the arcade. And that part, the annoying part's just like an arcade. And now they're lunch. And you'll notice that the army guys, if you take too long, will come by and place explosives at the bottom of the building if you take too long to destroy the city. And that does it for the Sega version. Is that guy holding up a sausage?
Are you done yet? Your play-by-play is one of the most boring things I've ever heard. And the girl's not in a red tank top. She's in a red dress. You even said it at the end of that, you fool!
Okay, Skippy. You don't have to be such an asshole, you know. It's not my fault that you and I are the only ones that we have here to play video games with.
Hey, what about me? I thought you loved me. Sure, babe. I'd never forget about you.
Ha ha ha! Skippy's in the doghouse, bitch!
Oh, so you forgot about me too, huh, babe?
Fuck, me and my big mouth.
Now time for the Nintendo version. You either get to play as either George or Lizzie. This time they don't look constipated. They look a little more menacing. No Ralph, though. Starting out in San Jose. Apparently these monsters like the American Southwest. And it's typical Nintendo fare. The graphics are okay for Nintendo. It's an 8-bit system. And you get to munch on army men, and it's a little harder to tell what some of the things are that you're punching. I can't tell if that's a newspaper or a punch bowl or what. That was a toilet. That didn't taste very good. Turkey did. So far, nobody in a bathtub spraying water at me. And yeah, nothing real impressive. There goes the guy to blow up the building, and if you try to eat the guy with the explosive, you blow a fire. So you can kind of be like Godzilla, I guess. And I think that about does it for Nintendo.
You really gotta work on your narrating skills. That was the worst one yet. Oh God, I can hear the fucking crickets chirping outside. You rotten lazy.
And now for our final game. Because I couldn't get the Atari 2600 version to work, I was able to get the Atari 7800 version to work. So let's give that a go.
Ah, yes. Good old days of Atari. And it looks like it was done by a 5th grader. At least they got the sound effects right. That's Ralph. Seriously? He looks like a little schnauzer. Or a Scottish terrier. He looks more cute than he does scary. Oh, they didn't even try to make the monsters scary in this one. It was just made cutesy. This is like a kid's game. Yeah, I feel like I'm 6 years old all over again. What is there to say except Atari always has great sound effects. The graphics are always kind of questionable. You kind of have to use your imagination to tell what things are. But for the most part, you somehow still can figure it out. So I think this is where I'm going to end up wrapping it up for the night. Because, well, what else is there to say? Except, when I was a kid, the arcade was always better than any home port.
Well, that about does it for tonight. Thanks for watching Gaming with Skippy. Mr. Narrator bored me to death, so it's time for me to go to sleep. Time for you people. Go ahead. If you like my videos, subscribe and share. Don't forget